Lev was a quiet man who moved through the halls of the university like a ghost. His domain was the night, a world of silent corridors and slumbering lecture halls. He was a janitor, and his mop was his scepter. But in his heart, Lev was a king of numbers, a silent admirer of the complex equations that covered the blackboards, mysteries that the greatest minds in the world had failed to solve. There was one equation in particular that had captivated him for years. It was known as the Finch conundrum, a problem so difficult it had become a legend. Every night, Lev would pause before it, his mind tracing the lines and symbols, searching for a pattern, a hidden truth that everyone else had missed. One rainy Tuesday night, as he was putting away his supplies, a sudden thought struck him. It was a simple, elegant solution, a single line of logic that untangled the Gordian knot of numbers. His heart pounded with a mix of fear and exhilaration. He grabbed a scrap of paper and a pencil, his hands trembling as he wrote down the answer. The next morning, Professor Alastair Finch arrived at his office. He found a crumpled piece of paper on his desk, covered in a stranger's handwriting. His face, usually a mask of academic calm, twisted in anger. Who dared to deface his work? He was about to throw the paper away when his eyes caught the final line. His fury turned to a stunned silence. The solution was correct. It was brilliant. It was impossible. Professor Finch called an emergency meeting of the department. "Who did this?" he demanded, holding up the paper. The room buzzed with whispers and speculation. No one knew. The solution had appeared out of thin air. After a frantic search, the paper was traced back to Lev. The professor was skeptical. "You?" he asked, his voice filled with disbelief. But Lev, with a quiet confidence born of certainty, explained his reasoning. He spoke of patterns and light, of seeing the problem not as a puzzle but as a story. The professors listened, their initial doubt giving way to awe. The news of the janitor who solved the Finch conundrum spread beyond the university walls. It reached the ears of two young YouTubers, Chloe and Jaden, who specialized in documenting incredible stories. "This is it," Chloe said, her eyes wide with excitement. "The perfect video, the ultimate underdog story." They knew they had to find Lev. Their video, titled "The Janitor Who Broke Math," went viral. Lev's life was transformed. He was no longer a ghost in the hallways. He was a celebrated genius. He was interviewed on television, invited to give lectures, and offered a research position at the very university he used to clean. One evening, Lev found himself back in the same hallway, standing before the same blackboard. But this time, he wasn't holding a mop. He was holding a piece of chalk, and he was adding a new equation to the board. His life had changed, but his passion for the quiet, elegant language of numbers remained the same. Lev and Professor Finch became a formidable team, their shared love for mathematics bridging the gap between their different lives. They worked side by side, two minds, once separated by a world of difference, now united by the universal language of knowledge.